From a small town in Maine to the depths of the world's oceans, Senior Chief Dan McCumber has spent over 2 decades serving aboard some of the Navy's most elite submarines. A nuclear-trained electrician mate, he has deployed across the globe, from the Arctic Circle to the Arabian Sea, earning a reputation for excellence at every turn. Now, as he prepares to close one extraordinary chapter, join us in honoring a sailor, a leader, and a family man whose service has helped keep the nation safe.
Welcome back to the RJ Chapman Show. Got a great one for you today. Dan McCumber. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, RJ.
This guy's great. He just got started in Toastmasters. I hear you're retiring in a couple of weeks. What's the story?
Well, I am retiring from the United States Navy after 22 years.
Dang. You excited?
I'm very excited.
Yeah. Dan is brand new to Toastmasters. He's been involved probably a couple of months. They assigned me as his mentor. He's failing miserably. No, he's doing great. What do you think of Toastmasters?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's been a great opportunity. I got assigned a great mentor.
Will Hayes.
Yeah. Will has been great. Everybody there at the club is so supportive.
Yeah.
And it's just a great time every Monday. I look forward to it all week.
It's surprising, isn't it? Did you ever heard of Toastmasters before, like looking us up?
I had heard of it before, and my brother-in-law actually did Toastmasters for a while in Texas.
Oh.
So I heard about it from him.
Yeah.
But I never knew much about it.
Okay.
And when I walked in as my first time as a guest, they had me at table topics.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Did you win?
I did not win.
Whoa.
It was a tough competition that night.
Well, sometimes we throw the person who gets up there a bone on table topics, but yeah, it's I tell my wife, she goes, "What is a Toastmasters thing?" Because she's not interested. I said, "Well, it's good, clean, adult fun. We're not going out someplace and doing this and doing that, but we're there, we're working, we're learning." You've come a long ways in a very short amount of time. What are your plans with Toastmasters?
Well, as RJ said, or as you said, I'll be retiring here in a few weeks.
Sure.
And moving back to Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, we don't like that part, but go ahead.
But my goal is to finish my level 1 while I'm here.
Okay.
And then as soon as I get up there and get established, find a club and be able to be active there.
So you plan to continue even though you're transferring from the area?
Oh, definitely.
Great. Have you thought about competition?
I have. I'm very interested in competition. It's fun. I love the preparation.
Okay.
And it's taught me to be a little bit more intentional with what I'm saying and how I'm saying it.
Yeah, it's really, it's wonderful to work with you on your very first 2 speeches and how we kind of went through them. And I had some comments, certain areas. And it was odd to me to be able to help somebody else make a little tiny change that made a huge difference in the speech. So I really enjoyed working with you on that kind of stuff because, when I was little, starting out in this thing 2 years ago, I got the same thing from everybody too. But, and it was mentioned in our last show, you are still the chief executive officer of your speech. So no matter what these guys say or that guy says, if you think that it means enough to stay in there or keep it worded that way, keep it in there and do it that way because it's your project. I like what you said too about the effort. You like the effort that you put into it. You put in the effort.
That's right. There's hours of writing, then editing. Not to mention, I'm in the car driving to and from work, saying my speech out loud, back and forth. I have my wife hears it, my daughters hear it. So it's a lot of fun. It does take a lot of time, but I think it's worth it.
Oh, it is worth it. And you're doing stuff that normally takes people a long time before they start doing that stuff. The only reason, one of the reasons that I can craft these speeches and all these things pretty quickly, as you know, I did a TED Talk, and TED was an entire year of doing just what you said. I gave it every morning to my wife. she's about ready to shoot me. But I really wish that I'd had Toastmasters before TED, because it's a step-by-step process for a speech. Your speeches have been very good. The first one was up. That was so cute. he's picking up his daughters. He's coming up in the submarine. It was really good. What was that second one?
The second one
boot camp
was
something.
Be Better Than Yesterday.
Be better than yesterday. See, really good topics too. I mean, speech titles. And what's it called tonight?
Tonight is Missing Context.
Okay.
So one of the things I've learned in Toastmasters is to get that hook. And I'm going to start by saying something surprising about my time in the Navy and something that people may not expect me to say. And then talk about how that is actually missing context and kind of describe that a little bit more.
Okay. Have you got your speech for your retirement down?
I have my second draft.
Okay.
So I made the first draft. I've edited it a few times. And now I'm hoping that I'm going to be using some of the things I learned tonight and incorporate that into.
Oh, that's pretty smart. So we're little guinea pigs tonight, too.
That's right.
Well, how long are you going to bore us for at your retirement? I mean, how much do we get to hear on your retirement? What's the time?
So I've got 5 to 7 minutes tonight. My actual full retirement speech, I've timed it, and I'm around the 12 to 13 minute.
Perfect. Nobody wants to listen to anybody longer than 15 minutes. At least that's Ted's analogy. Now, people go over all the time. But mine was 14, like 40, because I just wanted to go to the edge. 5 to 7's great. Staying under 15, people will pay attention. Are you going to cry?
Definitely.
Good.
I'd like to say no, but when I read it just by myself, before you mentioned up, and the very first time that I read it, I cried.
Yeah.
And I didn't cry while I was writing it, but as I was talking and I was able to speak it out loud to myself in practice and be fine. As soon as I spoke it to my wife, that's when it got me.
Yeah.
I had to stop a few times.
Yes. Well, how can you not look at two little girls giving a speech about those cuties and not well up? I obviously have money on you crying at your retirement, so don't let me down. I could use that $10.
It's gonna happen.
What do they think about it?
They loved it.
Okay.
So I had the opportunity to be the test speaker that one weekend, and they were there, and they had the opportunity to come and see me speak, and they just thought that was the coolest thing ever. Daddy's on stage.
Yeah.
And he's speaking, and not only is he speaking on stage, but he's speaking about us.
Yes, you did so good on that test speech.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad they got to see you in action. I think I gave a test speech the following speech, or I don't know, I gave a test speech too, but yeah, they were I was watching them as you spoke. Because I keep my eye on the audience most of the time. Wasn't your mother-in-law, father-in-law there?
Yes.
What'd they think?
They loved it too.
Good.
They thought it was awesome. They think the whole experience is very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. And we highly encourage you, if you'd like to get on the effort highway, which is what we call it when we're doing all these little rewrites. And it's really not work. It's just honing your craft, taking out words you don't need, adding another word that's going to touch the mind and the heart. And your speeches are very, very good in those areas. I'm really proud of you. I mean, you just walked in and you started doing it. You didn't, we didn't have to wait 3 weeks to get an icebreaker out of you. So we're always pretty happy when somebody gets up and does the dang icebreaker. And you brought a little pal last week. What'd he think?
That's right. He loves it as well.
Okay.
So he's also short on time here in the area. He'll be moving to Virginia, but he's also looking to find a club when he moves as well.
Okay. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the Navy. How old were you when you joined?
I was 19.
19. And you went right to nuclear power school?
So after boot camp, right to nuclear power school.
So was that based on your ASVAB, or how'd you get a nuke program?
So I walked into the recruiter's office.
Right.
It was the recruiter's dream. And I said, I've heard about your nuclear propulsion program.
Oh, yeah.
Because I worked from an old submariner.
Oh,
At a furniture store in a small town in Maine.
wow.
And he said, it sounds like all these classes you're taking calculus, physics, chemistry.
Oh.
Like, you could be a nuke. I was, well, what's that? I want to learn more. Go talk to the recruiter.
Ah, yeah, you are the dream.
That's right. So I walked in and I said, I'd like to learn more about your nuclear propulsion program. And he kind of looks me up and down and says, why don't we take a test first before we start talking?
Wow. Was it the ASVAB?
It was the practice ASVAB.
Practice ASVAB. What'd you get?
On the practice, I got a perfect score.
Oh my gosh.
So, and then later on, I took the real ASVAB and I was in the 89th percentile.
Yeah, I mean, once you get into what he's talking about, you stay there.
Yes.
You don't get out of the nuclear loop ever.
They want you.
What about shore duty? What do they give you for that?
So shore duty, I've had 2 shore duties, and my first shore duty was recruiting.
Oh.
And specifically recruiting for the nuclear field in the New England area.
Okay. How did it go?
It was awesome.
Okay, good.
I actually was able to, I had the #1 program in the country.
Wow.
2012. So that was exciting.
Yes.
And I loved being able to go travel a little bit throughout New England, speak at the school.
Yeah.
And kind of mentor the next generation of nukes in the Navy.
Gosh, dang it. Well, I reported to my first submarine. I wasn't anything. When I joined, I was really the recruiter's dream. I said, listen, I don't care what you do with me. Just get me on a submarine. And the guy goes, well, it's a tough call. So I'm going to have to pull some strings on that one. I'm like, oh, come on, man, you can do it. Meanwhile, he's like loving it. Right. And I get to the submarine. I said, well, what's my job? They said, well, you drive it. And then when you get done driving, you go scrub toilets. I'm like, okay. And then they said, after 2 years, they said, what do you want to be? Well, I was in it. I love the nukes. I love the whole nuclear thing. Remember the big books you've got with all the lines? And I was like, and they were all like, you should be a nuke, RJ. I go, listen, I am not smart enough to be a nuke, but I love engineering. So I became a seaman.
Yes.
And so I still got to be in with the nukes, but I wasn't really a nuke.
That's right. All the communication.
Yeah, well, I couldn't fix nothing. That's why I got on the Command Master Chief program. Wow. So jeepers, you only got 2 shore duties in that whole 22 years?
2 shore duties.
I hope everybody's listening to this. How long they let you stay on recruiting? 4?
So I was 3 years in recruiting, and I was 3 years as an instructor back at nuclear power school.
So did you go to IT school?
No.
Oh, you didn't go to instructor training school?
Or they have a 2-week instructor training period when you first show up.
Right. And they probably do it at nuke school.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I tell you guys, so compartmentalized.
We are cradle to grave, they call it. We control the recruiting, we control all of the training, and we control everything in between.
Yeah. Well, my hat's off to you because you spent, tell me the boats. Give me all the boats.
Okay, I started on Nevada.
Okay, I'm from Nevada.
And Nevada was interesting because I did 4 strategic patrols, did 2 years in the shipyard where we refueled. That was fun, as you described.
A lot of fun.
During that 2-year shipyard period, I was able to get to Japan for 3 months on TAD orders, which was fun. From there, I went recruiting in Boston. After Boston, I went to the USS San Juan. I was there for 1 deployment, made chief.
Okay.
And then I switched over to the USS Virginia. So
San Juan fast attack?
San Juan was a 688 class.
Okay, good.
And Virginia is obviously a Virginia class.
Oh, so you've covered the bases.
So I've hit them all except for Seawolf.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore, Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
Good and faithful servant. So I'm looking forward to your retirement. Will's coming. Probably a bunch of the Toastmasters. I'm sure we're seeing Jonathan up there to maybe get some video of it. And you're going home after this, right?
Yes.
Where are you going?
Up to the Boston area. So my wife is from the Boston area.
Right.
And there's lots of opportunity for good paying jobs up there. And
oh, yeah. You're going to stay in the nuke field?
I'll say in the engineering field.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of nuclear opportunities in that specific location.
Right.
You have to get a little bit farther out for that.
Yeah. So a conventional plant, I mean, it's basically the same thing, making heat.
Right, exactly. Conventional plant, any kind of technical program management situation.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we're going to miss you. You've been a real ray of sunshine. I can't wait to Can't wait to go to your retirement and send you off. And I've met your family and your mother-in-law, father-in-law, and all that at the conference. And just really excited to go against you in the World Championship of Toastmasters someday.
See you on the big stage.
I think he's giving me a threat. He's going to make me get on the effort highway. Well, Dan, I really appreciate you coming up today. I look forward to your retirement. Thanks for telling us a little bit about anything you think we should know more about you. You're so interesting.
Just some of the things that we were talking about previously before we started
Right, that was
recording.
cute. Yeah. Kids today. That like these darn kids, they're gonna ruin my Navy. And just how flawed that perspective is. Because is.
you mentioned it, you said, 30 years ago I was that kid.
I was the guy that was going to ruin their Navy. I didn't succeed, though.
That's right. And now, throughout, as my career comes to an end, I'm looking back at the people that are replacing us. And there are things to be said about resiliency and toughness and kids that grew up with their iPads.
Yep.
But they're so more technologically advanced than we were. And they've had so much access to information for their whole life.
Right.
Whereas we had to learn that.
Sure.
And
it took us a lot longer than it takes them.
That's right.
Because they started with it.
Right. Hand a 4-year-old an iPad.
Yeah, they know how to do it.
And then hand an 80-year-old an iPad and see who learns fast.
Or a 68-year-old an iPad.
Right.
Although I'm doing okay with my phone.
Right. So I just think that is a very interesting thing that we hear a lot in the Navy.
Right.
Is, the younger generation is this and that. And I think we write them off a little bit too soon.
I think we're getting a little better at understanding them because the dinosaurs are being phased out, which is fine. And the younger chiefs, first classes, can relate a lot better than the old master chief, senior chief guy. So I just don't want you to ever be that guy that ever badmouths the Navy when you get out. I don't like that. So don't do that. I know you wouldn't do it anyway. But, I hear it all the time, well, back when I was in, I'm like, oh, come on, dude. It's a bucket of water. You put your hand in, you pull it out. We still got a bucket of water.
Well, and one of the things I'm going to talk about in my speech tonight and in my retirement speech is the idea that people talk about the Navy and you hear people complaining about the Navy. Oh, the Navy did this to me. The Navy did that to me. But the thing is that the Navy's not this big, ominous, faceless creature that's like evil.
The creature from the Black Lagoon.
It's us. It's the people. And that's the piece that I'm going to miss the most.
You've got a really good point there, the people. And I bring that up because next week, the chief of the boat of the USS Pogey, my Cobb, I was a chief at the time, he's coming out to visit me.
That's awesome.
And I'm looking so forward to it because it was 30 years ago. Terry was brand new. I was a little chief. I just, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, the people. But you know what? I'll always be here. And a lot of your close friends along the way will always be there, and you're just a phone call away.
That's right. Those relationships we've built are strong.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming up today, Dan. I had a good time with the show. Can't wait for your retirement ceremony. And thanks for being with me today.
Thank you, RJ.
Great job.